Hello Marble Sports fans and welcome to the Marble Circuits 2022. I'm Jeremiah and I'm glad to be here in Australia for the Melbourne Grand Prix. The pressure is on for the 12 marbles competing in this race. All the hard work and training during the off season all leads up to this. Sparky sits on the pole position of the starting grid, being the champion of the qualifying a few days ago, with Peppers sitting in second and Aerofrog in third place, as well as Night Rivers in fourth. Pink Pearl is in fifth place, the overall champion from last season. Gold Piston got second last season. He is in sixth place, with Sea Turtles, the podium finisher of season 1, in ninth place. We'll have to see if these three marbles are able to come and have a comeback in this race, or if Sparky, Peppers, and Aerofrog can hold the lead. Here are the full qualifying results from a couple days ago, so you can see where your favorite marble is going to be starting in this race. Black Pirates having a disappointing start to this season so far, at least in the qualifying, getting last place. Hopefully he'll be able to redeem himself in this race and get on the right track for this season. You can see some of these VIP marbles watching the racers making some last minute preparations in the pits to make sure that they are on optimal performance for the first race of the Marble Circuits 2022. Sparky and Peppers sitting right next to each other on the front two spots of the starting grid, just glaring at each other after what happened in the qualifying. Sparky stealing the win at the last moment. Definitely a great move for Sparky, but Peppers isn't liking that so much. And now, for the start of the Melbourne Grand Prix. The marbles are ready, the lights are on, and away we go, with Peppers taking the lead right at the beginning of the race. He is back in the lead after losing in the qualifying, but loses it to Gold Piston as they go up the booster for the first time, and now it is Big Dog in the lead. He started in 8th place and now is overtaken by Pink Pearl, and Sparky and Peppers are falling down the order. Big Dog trying to catch up to Pink Pearl, with Night Rivers in 3rd place as they go down the back straight. Pink Pearl, the previous champion, is trying to get a good start to this season. Could she have been holding back in the qualifying to trick the marbles into thinking that she has lost her edge as they go through the drag reduction zone? Gold Piston is now in 3rd place, trying to overtake Big Dog, who is still trying to catch up to Pink Pearl at this moment. He seems to be drafting Pink Pearl through these corners, and he takes 1st place in the 3rd lap. Pink Pearl is trying to take it back, but it's surpassed by Gold Piston as they go up the booster. Gold Piston trying to catch up to Big Dog, who is extending himself from the rest of the field at this point and doing a good job at it. Night Rivers has now taken 2nd place, being followed by Gold Piston and now Fast Q Pins, who is trying to overtake for the podium. But Gold Piston and Night Rivers are going to make that hard, or so it seemed. Fast Q Pins has taken 3rd and 2nd place, with Big Dogs nowhere to be seen. Night Rivers now taking the 2nd place. Great move by Night Rivers through the booster. We have been seeing a lot of these moves through the booster as he takes 1st place there. Big Dogs falling down to 2nd. A lot of these moves through the booster have been very beneficial to these marbles, a new element of marble racing that we have not seen before. Gold Piston now back in 3rd place, trying to catch up to Big Dog, as he does right there, trying to draft him, but it is not working out. Big Dog able to stay ahead, with Night Rivers extending himself from the rest of the field, and now Momonas is in 4th place, being followed by Pink Pearl in 5th place. Gold Piston trying to pass Big Dogs here, but isn't able to do it as they go up the booster. Gold Piston is able to pass Big Dogs, and Big Dogs takes 2nd place and 1st place as the other two marbles take the drag reduction zone. A bad move by Night Rivers and Gold Piston. Big Dogs is now back in the lead. We are now starting the 7th lap as they go down the back straight. Gold Piston losing some ground on Night Rivers as he's trying to catch up to Big Dog, and he does right there, passing Big Dog, but Big Dog passes him back. A fight for the 1st place, as Gold Piston has now taken 2nd, trying to catch up to Big Dog. Big Dog seeing some fighting going on behind him, just trying to stay ahead of these two marbles to stay out of any trouble and make it as easy as possible for him to retain the lead. But Gold Piston is trying to make that hard as he gives a bump to the back on Big Dog. Big Dog getting a little bit of momentum from that. Night Rivers still in 3rd place, with Arrow Frog now in 4th place, catching back up after a not so good race so far, with Black Pirates in 5th place. He started in the last place on the starting grid, now in 5th place, trying to come and take 4th. A great move by Black Pirates, now is in 4th place. Big Dog still facing some pressure from Gold Piston up in the front, with Arrow Frog in 3rd place. And Gold Piston has a bump on the chicane there, and so does Arrow Frog. We've had an accident on the track. Arrow Frog is losing ground. The Arrow Frog fans are weeping. The tweets are tweeting at the downfall of Arrow Frog. Gold Piston able to retain his podium spot so far, dealing with the damage that he got from this accident, with Big Dog still in the lead, being followed by Night Rivers. Arrow Frog and Night Rivers pretty far ahead from Gold Piston, who is yet farther ahead from the rest of the field. Arrow Frog a whole 1.5 seconds in front of Gold Piston. This is an incredible lead. He has a bump off the wall there, and Night Rivers takes the lead from Big Dogs. Also take a look at Peppers and Sparky. Peppers is in last place, starting in 2nd place. He is definitely not having a good race, with Sparky down in 8th, right in front of Arrow Frog. But Arrow Frog is able to take it back, now in 7th place, dealing with the damage of this accident. Night Rivers trying to fend off Big Dogs, but is unsuccessful. Big Dogs is now in the lead, with Gold Piston and Black Pirates in the mix. Night Rivers trying to fend off Gold Piston, who doesn't seem to be too affected by the damage at this point, as he takes 2nd place and now was drafting Big Dogs, but has a bump off the wall there, now being drafted by Night Rivers. And now gets a boost of speed through the booster, hitting on Big Dogs, and Big Dogs is able to... What happened there? A shove from Night Rivers, pushing Gold Piston to the top of the chicane. Is that even legal? Night Rivers definitely benefiting from this move. Definitely a questionable move though, as he is now trying to catch up to Big Dog, with Gold Piston in 3rd place. Sparky is now back up in 4th place, fighting with Arrow Frog, who is back up in 5th place, trying to redeem himself in this race. We are on lap 14, 2 laps to go. Big Dog's in 1st place, Night Rivers in 2nd, with Gold Piston in 3rd place, drafting Night Rivers here as we start the 15th lap. And a bump from Night Rivers to the behind of Big Dogs as they go up the booster. Gold Piston now pressuring Night Rivers through the drag reduction zone, and another move from Night Rivers to Big Dogs onto the edge of the chicane. Some rough play from Night Rivers in this race. He really wants to take the overall win. With Gold Piston now taking 2nd place from Night Rivers on the start of the final lap. Big Dogs is in 1st place. Gold Piston is in 2nd. Night Rivers is in 3rd place. Arrow Frog is back up in 4th place. Big Dogs facing some pressure from Night Rivers. All he has to do is stay in the lead for the remainder of the lap, and he will be champion of the Melbourne Grand Prix. As he goes around the final couple of corners, he can see the fans, he can see the line, and Big Dogs will be your champion of the Melbourne Grand Prix, with Night Rivers in 2nd and Gold Piston is in 3rd place. A respectable finish for Arrow Frog in 4th place, being involved in that accident with Gold Piston. Both respectable finishes for those two marbles. What an amazing race. The fans are cheering, even the Arrow Frog fans, for the results of this race. Definitely an action-packed race, with the efforts that Big Dog put into the off-season paying off, being crowned champion.
Congratulations. You were very fast today and dominated the circuit. Yeah! That was amazing, guys. I couldn't have done it without you.
Big Dog's very excited for his first win in Marble Circuit's history. Definitely an amazing accomplishment, especially considering the fact that he started way back in 8th place. As we look at some of these replays here, the replay of the start of the race. Peppers taking the lead from Sparky in the 1st second of the race. Is there a rivalry developing between these two marbles? We'll have to wait and see. Some great moves here right in the 1st turn. Sparky losing a good 5 places right in the 1st turn of this race, with Gold Piston coming in at 1st. But ultimately it was Big Dog who came out in the lead. He did have trouble holding the lead for the entirety of the race, but he was able to keep it at the end. Night Rivers putting on a good showing, as well as Gold Piston in this race. both getting on the podium. This is one of the few replays of Fastku pins in this race. You didn't see much of him in this race, but he did have 1 or 2 good moves in the front of the field. Knight Rivers, though, battling Big Dog for the entirety of the race, as well as Gold Piston. All these 3 marbles were jostling for position the entire race. Gold Piston not being in the lead very much, with Big Dogs and Knight Rivers keeping that spot. And here's the accident with Gold Piston and Arrow Frog. Gold Piston getting stuck on the track, not even moving for a couple seconds. And then Arrow Frog comes in with too much speed, not able to slow down in time before he crashes into Gold Piston, making him fall down a lot of places. He was able to come back up and get 4th place, definitely an accomplishment, as well as for Gold Piston having this accident, gaining some damage in this race. Couple rough moves from Knight Rivers in this race, pushing Gold Piston as well as Big Dogs onto the top of the chicane to gain some speed, as well as to slow those 2 marbles down. Some rough play, but ultimately it did work out with him getting 2nd place. Here's a cool trackside view of the marbles, a view that only VIP marbles get to see, which is definitely a cool view. And here are the full results for the Melbourne Grand Prix. Big Dog's getting 25 points plus 1 point for having the fastest lap of this race. If you get the fastest lap of the race, you will be getting a bonus 1 point in this season. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for race 2 of the Marble Circuits 2022. And of course, congratulations to our 3 podium finishers. Big Dogs for getting 1st place, Knight Rivers in 2nd, and Gold Piston in 3rd place. I'm Jeremiah, signing off, and until next time, this has been Fubeca's Marble Runs. Good day, everyone.